Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to Gray's Dynamics. I want to say welcome to you all. I've got another video here to share the Moza KS wheel and the wheel hub. My big thing about this wheel rim is, again, for the price. I picked it up from Micro Center. It cost me $279 with tax. I think it was literally $300.99. I had to get the hub. They didn't have the hub at Micro Center. I actually ordered this weeks before I was able to get the wheel, because I went in to get the wheel and they said they had one in stock, and when I got there, they no longer had it. So I've had this for quite a bit, and I just picked this up today. This video is my first impressions video. Really not an overall review. I mean, it kind of is, because we're gonna put it through all the evaluation that we normally do, but just really a first impression, what I think of it. To be honest, for the price of this wheel, it's definitely a budget-friendly wheel. And my thinking of this may be the best budget-friendly wheel that's out there. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna get this cracked open, take a look at it, see how we like it compared to some of the other wheels we've been able to test here, and let you know what we think. So first, what I'll do is I'll sit this over to the side and we'll just take a look at the hub first, because this is the least exciting part of this whole process. So let's see how this fares and take a quick look at it, what comes in the box, because we're going to need this to run it, because we no longer have a Moza wheelbase. And what I think is cool that comes with it is the actual base side attachment. So at the end of the day, if you needed one of these, it comes with it so that you can attach any Moza wheel rim to your base. And if you run in NRG style, this is great to have, because it's got holes, as you can see here, where you can attach it to just about everything and anything. So yeah, it looks to be pretty versatile in that, right? Next, we've got the wheel hub here that you attach everything to. And what it's got here is it's got pedal and USB, as well as auxiliary power. It connects base, the wheel, dash, shifter, and handbrake. Obviously, I don't have the base, but this would be nifty if I needed, if I had the base. And obviously, you can run quite a few things through just this hub. So it enables you to connect quite a bit of items directly to that hub. In addition to that, we get an instruction manual. And what's even better is they include the RJ12, the USB. Yeah, they include all the cables that you'll need right here in the box, as well as the different screws you're gonna need. And it looks like they include some pads to dampen potentially the sound on any shifters you may get. So again, I think that's great what they include in the box. You know, I only paid 50 bucks for all of this. And to me, one, you get this piece, which we know that some people, just to get this piece, you have to buy an entire QR system. So, I mean, you're getting that entire piece there, 50 bucks with the hub, right in box. So I'm gonna put this back as best I can. And then we're gonna get to the part that you really wanna see here, which is really just that wheel rim. So let's get this over here. And again, we've got the Moza KS wheel, made by Moza. It's a 300 millimeter wheel rim. Inside one comes with your awesome sticker packet, because, well, you're gonna need stickers. And to be honest, it even comes with a set of tweezers so you can apply them onto the wheel. And it's got everything in here that you would actually need. Brake bias, mappings, traction control, clutch, all those things you're gonna want. I always think it's cool how Moza includes their nice little bag, which I end up using for other things outside of just, and I'll actually show you, outside of just my wheel rim, but it's nice that it comes in it. Again, when you consider the price of this, I think, oh, let me try and get this out of here. It's gonna make me take the whole foam pad out. We don't wanna do that. And we wanna be careful because I don't wanna, wow, this thing is really snug in there. Excuse me for the technical difficulties, but they have fit this in here quite tight. And I don't want to break anything. Whew, that was in there. But again, nice insert. It's not foam, some sort of plastic or something along that line. So we'll sit this over to the side as well. All right, let's take a look at the rim. This is the first I'm opening it, so we'll kind of see how it feels. All right, so I have the back of it. I'm gonna look at the front first. I can tell you it feels quite nice. Let's get that flipped around. Now, many of you have seen this wheel before, so, you know, I'm not going to act like you haven't seen it somewhere else. But again, for $279, and mind you, I've had the McLaren wheel rim from Fanatic, and that was $199. And then when you add on the metal QR1, that brought up to $299. This is $279, and dare I say, has much better features when you look feature for feature compared to that wheel rim. Because one, this has rubber grips, which are nice. They're firm. They're definitely quite firm. They're not soft. And again, this is made of a carbon composite, they call it, just plastic. I mean, no different than the Fanatic McLaren wheel. Like, it's plastic, that's fine. It does the job. But looking at this, so far, one, it's got the fantastic NRG style quick release, which is great. I think that's just an industry best to me. I think it's the best you can get. It clicks on, there's no problems or issues with it. It's got your 2 shifters. It comes with clutch paddles, and again, for $279, I'm getting quite a bit of value here. They've already labeled their thumb rotaries here, brake bias and differential, but because you get stickers, you can likely just put stickers over the top of it, or it doesn't really matter, you can leave it the way it is. But again, the fact that it has it, that's what just to me puts it at that next step, puts it at that next level for a wheel rim you're going to consider, especially if it's gotta be budget friendly. Like this, again, for the amount that it costs, $279, we have to level our expectations with what we're getting. But looking at it and just feeling it, it is, again, 300 millimeter wheel rim. It feels quite nice in hand. Like, Moza did a really good job. And the great thing about it is, to me, not only do you get 2 thumb encoders here, like that's great because changing these on the fly is always something that's necessary. But you get 3 rotary styles here that have really good detents to it. Like, you can definitely tell if you were using gloves, you could feel each and every one. It's got your LED buttons. They have a nice tactile click to it. You can rest your finger on it. You'll know when something happens when you click on it. So yeah, this definitely does what it needs to do. And again, that's my thing. Like, at the price point, is it going to do the job? Are you going to be able to put it on your rig, map it in iracing, AMS2, Race Room, R Factor 2, ACC, AC, whatever you're playing? Can you map it to a car and use it effectively to get around track, shift, use a clutch if you're in a car that needs one, and do the job and be practical about it? So far, this is the most practical, budget-friendly wheel that I could ever recommend. $279, $300.99 with tax, in store, walk in, walk out, pick it up. I'm not going to say these are the best clutches I've ever felt, or shifters, but we're talking about $279, and I want to reiterate that because we'll talk about that after I get it on the rig and really see how it feels and put it through its paces. But at the end of the day, it's got two quote unquote analog. Now they're not 7-way because they do not rotate. So they do your traditional up, down, left, right. They kind of rotate in a 360 degree, but again, usually when you map it in games, you kind of lose the angles. But it's also a push button. So the only thing you don't get, because it's not a full 7-way, is you cannot rotate it right or left. But you get 2 of them. So at the end of the day, you're going to use one for your black box, and then you would map other buttons to do different things. But again, with that being said, and I think that kind of may be a bit of a downfall there, because again, you get the push button, you can rotate it around, but you don't get the ability to rotate it and have it as a full 7-way funky switch. So that could be the one downside I see so far to this wheel at this price point. I wish they had actually made sure you could rotate it and it was a full 7-way. I was expecting it to be honest. But again, $279, think of what the competition has, what you can get, and you can attach this to any wheelbase, and really use it to do just about any and everything that you'll need to do. I'll be honest, like outside of that, I'm really impressed with what you get. I'm impressed with what they've included for this price. And again, I know a lot of people out there are like, they're needing something that has clutches, but they want to have thumb encoders. And the fact that this does, like again, just look at it, like it's pretty light in hand. It's not any heavier than anything I've ever felt. But again, most of the weight, I'll be honest, is going to be likely attributed, or quite a bit of the weight is going to be attributed to the QR. Because the QR, even though this is a more slim profile one, which I actually wish they sold this one separately, so I could attach it to other wheelbases, rims anyway. But with that being said, like this is done really well. And when you think about what you're paying for what you're getting, that's where you have to be honest. This is a really practical, honest buy at this price. Now, again, until we get it on the rig, I can't tell you where it stacks up, but just at first glance, I mean, the grips are contoured, so you can definitely race with it. And again, they're not soft the way I like, I'll be honest. They're quite similar. They're better than the Cube Controls F Core, F Pro, but they're not as nice as the F Core. The F Core, I will say, has better grips because they are softer. But because of the way this feels, and because it has the thumb rest here, you can, you might find yourself, which I do at times, just find myself turning here because I'm pushing down sometimes, or I'm pulling down. But other than that, I mean, and it's got a rev limiter. So if you don't have one on your wheel, or you don't have a dash that has one, you get one right here. And again, none of these buttons, to be honest, can be mapped in the SimHub app. It's all going to be mapped in the Moza pit house software. So what we're going to do now is, I mean, again, I am really impressed, and it's got your RJ12 connector to connect it to your PC through the hub. So what we're going to do is we're going to get this onto the rig, take a look at it, and we'll tell you how we feel about it, and then have our final conclusion as to whether you should buy it or not. But I can be honest, just up front, I'm going to say at $279, it's a no-brainer at this point. Like if all you had is $300 to spend, there are a lot of wheels at that price point that I like. The Balkan Rev 9, to be honest. The only difference with that is that's got a full 5-inch carbon front plate, where this does not, and the grips on there are significantly better. But we'll talk about that at the end when we look at bang for buck, and again, depending on what you're looking for, what options you may have. So let's take a look, get on the rig, and let's see what we think. Hey guys, so I've got the Moza Pit House software up. I've got the wheel attached. And again, I haven't put any stickers on it because I want to decide whether I want to keep it or not. As you know, these wheels do cost money. They're not cheap. So I want to make sure this is a wheel I'm actually going to keep and use, or maybe I just keep it because it's just a good alternative to use. So I've got the Moza pit house software up. So once you get the hub, you attach the hub, connect it to your PC, connect it to your wheel. I have a powered USB hub that I use, so it's going to get more than enough power. So I'm cool there. It does have an auxiliary power on the back of it in case I wanted to plug it in somewhere else, but I'm good. So I've got the Moza Pit House software on here. First thing you're going to do is you're going to go to the Moza website, and I will pull it up right quick. Once you're on the Moza website, all you're going to do is go to the Moza Racing support page. You can come here, you can see guides and configurations and pedals, and you can download the software and everything right off of their website. Once you get it downloaded, then you're going to pull up the Moza software. It's going to ask you when you first load up, do you want to activate the hub in the wheel? Yes, you do, clearly, because you want to use it. Once you get it all pulled up, like I said, you have the hub here. And again, it's going to just show you the universal hub, anything you have plugged into it. For me, I have the KS wheel, so I can click on it, or I can click over here to the left-hand side and get the wheel pulled up. Once you're in the software, then you're going to decide what you want to set up, whether or not you want your clutch paddles down here, whether you want them to be used as a combined axis. If you hover over it, sometimes it'll give you some information, axis split or button. I'm going to use as a combined so that I have my clutch and bite point at 65% for when I use open wheel cars. Then you can map the different abilities you want, whether it be a button or a knob, your D-pad for your stick mode, D-pad or button. And I'll be honest, one thing I've never appreciated about Moza is what they label things kind of be confusing. You might look and go, man, what does that mean? What is that actually? What is that supposed to be? Sometimes I'm just the same. If they don't include an eye bubble and explain it thoroughly, then you're digging through menus, you're digging through configurations to figure out what it all means. But again, just going through, making sure that you have whatever set up. You can change the brightness here of the colors for the wheel. I have them super bright. Probably looks quite blurry on camera, but as you know, with these things in front of me, it looks completely different than what you're going to see here. Like that's a nice, bright, vibrant red. Maybe if I turn it down some for you, it'll make more sense. Yeah, so I turn it down on camera. That's a nice, bright, vibrant red. That's an orangey yellow, green, teal, and then blue. But again, I'm going to turn it up so it actually looks like a color to me that makes sense. Like I said, I haven't put stickers on them, but just in first feel, like it's super light. You know, you see some play here, but that's just the QR. It's not actually the wheel itself. I don't know the value of doing this test, but again, that's just the tolerances between the wheel and the QR, which little bit of wiggle there, but you're not going to feel it when you're racing. So don't know how practical that is of a test, but I know some people like to see it done, so I will do it for you. So went ahead and changed the colors. In order to change the colors, you simply push all the way to the right. You'll see the rev limiter lights flash. Now I can change the colors by just simply clicking it and cycling through what colors they have available. Put it back on red. Hold it again. Watch it flash. Now it's set. If you don't do that, then as you're racing, and if you click a button, it'll clearly just change. So you probably don't want that to happen. But it is very simple and easy to set up. Again, if you've got the wheel and you push a button, it'll show you a nice animation of what it does. And like I said, I wish these actually rotated and were 7-way funky switches, but you know, beggars can't be choosers. And again, for the price, I think it is definitely worth what it costs so far. So what we're going to do is I've actually jumped into a live session because why not? but everybody's in a race. So I've got the LMP2 pulled up here at Watkins Glen because I think it is a awesome track and car combination. So what we're going to do is just get on track and tell you what I feel, what I think of the wheel rim. And again, I can already say for $279, it's totally worth the initial price. Again, things don't feel as great as I'd like them to feel when it comes to, but that clearly worked. When I think of how some of these things feel compared to my GSI and my Balkan wheel, like they feel more clicky. They feel adequate to do the job. The grips are quite thin. But you guys know I don't like to use gloves. So, and I actually race with these. Now, some of you know I had reviewed the Cube Controls F-Core. And I wasn't quite fond of it, especially at the price point that they were asking, you know, $650 for what I felt was a paired Pro. Now, at $279, I am already going to tell you, oh, this is a steal. I like it. I might actually keep it, like, because I think what you're getting for this price is you're getting everything you need in the wheel. If I need to adjust the brake bias, I can. If I need to adjust traction control, I can, as you can see on my phone dash. But like, I have my GSI X29 wheel, which is my favorite wheel so far right now to use for the type of cars that I'm racing. I would say it's my favorite because I'm not racing any open wheelers right now. I'm kind of addicted to multi-class cars and things of that nature. But with that being said, this feels quite nice. And where that X29 to me, now quality-wise, that is just night and day. The grips on that feel significantly better. Like, these are definitely grips that they're just very thin. They've got a good amount of grip to them. Got a good amount of click to the buttons. Like if I wanted to, say, flash my headlights here, does exactly what I needed to do. Like, I feel it, I know I clicked it, I don't have any problems there. If I want to go up and down my black box, I can. If I want to go up and down and change something like I said, because it's not a full 7-way flunky switch, typically I map everything in the black box to just one funky switch. And to be honest, I don't use the other one. With this, I would have to, because I'd want to go up and down on the list of items in the black box. And clearly I'm not here to race, but excuse me, I can do everything I needed to do.
That's 20 minutes to go. P5.
But it feels good. I mean, like, I'm really getting all the things you'd expect from a wheel rim. And again, at $279, I keep stressing that, and I'm going to keep saying that. You get what you pay for. And I feel like what I'm paying for with this is a good quality wheel. Something that will do the job. Like, I'm shifting. I can run this without gloves the way I like and have any qualms about it. without my hands slipping and things of that nature. Like, this is just good. Moza did a great job. Like, I have no complaints other than wishing this
Sector 2 time
actually
is okay.
was a 7-way funky switch. I don't know what made them think not to do that, since they have it on the other wheel rims, and maybe it just was a way to save costs for the consumer, which is always cool, you know what I mean? Like, at the end of the day, they try to hit a price point, and you cut something off to make sure you hit a price point. That's the reason why this is made of composite plastic, or composite carbon fiber, which is plastic.
Sector 3 is 3.6 seconds off the pace.
So, I mean, but I want to change anything on here. I mean, because I have thumb encoder, something I don't get on my GSI, I can change some things. But like, if I want to change my traction control cut, I mapped it as a multi-position switch.
You're 2/10 off the pace in Sector 1.
I mean, as a rotary. Whew. Let me rephrase that, say that correctly. But, you know, yeah, I would say anybody, if you need an entry budget level wheel rim, this definitely feels good. Like, if you ask me, Ray, would you rather have the F Core or this? This, hands down.
Sector 2 time is good.
Save the money, get you a dash. Oh no! Don't hit the wall. Ooh, almost hit the wall there. Like this significantly more than I like the F Core. Like, that was just too steep for what I think it was offering. Like, no, I cannot control this through up for the LED lights. I don't have the amount of customization I want with the rev limiter, but I have enough. And I've got everything I've got on the F Core. Have on the F Core that I don't have here, other than the two 7-way funkies. And again, if that's worth spending twice the price, then you just want that wheel, and that's not a bad wheel. It's just when you start looking at the market and what's out there and what's in that price point.
Sector 1 is 0.8 off the pace.
But yeah, I'm feeling everything I need to feel. I can run it without gloves. Like I said, this piece here, it's a little narrow. Well, the grips don't have any thickness to it. So I will say, the more I drive here, the more the grips, because they're so narrow, tend
Sector 2 time is quick.
cut into my hands a little bit. But other than that, like I said, the price point that this is coming at, you gotta remember who it's targeting. It's targeting the person who's, you know, maybe I can't get a Moza R9, I can get an R5, and I want a versatile wheel rim I can use for a bunch of different things that has some cool features. I can use it for GT.
Okay, Ray, 15 minutes left. That's 15 minutes.
I can use it for open
You're now
wheel.
2.2 seconds off the pace. Sector 3 is 3.6 off the pace.
But with this, it is really good. I am thoroughly impressed with what Moza was able to do at this price point. It just makes it a no-brainer for most people who need a budget-friendly wheel. I mean, we're gonna go over here
To
and
watch the track limits.
conclude and talk about what I think of it compared to some other wheel rims, because I do want to have a conversation about, although this is practical at this price point, like what you pay for when you spend more money. And some of you may go, well, wait a minute, if this is all I really need, because to be honest, you can run every wheel, every car type, be outside of oval, you know, in dirt racing, but anything that you're going to race in ACC, you're going to race in GT cars, Formula cars, because it's 300 millimeter, it really makes it quite versatile. I simply think that, yeah, feels good. So let's go ahead and get this off the rig, conclude what we think, whether I think it's the best bang for the buck, which I'm pretty sure you can kind of tell right now what I'm thinking. But let's get it off, see what we think, compare it to some other wheels that I've had or used, and go from there. See you in a sec on the other side. Hey, what's up, y'all? So let's conclude this. Moza KS wheel, love it. And the way I say I love it, $279. Great entry point for sim racing. I've had the McLaren wheel from Fanatic. This is significantly better because of all the additional things it offers. I wish that it had a real funky switch, 7-way, but again, it does do what you need to do. Paddles, clutches, thumb encoders, rotaries on front, 2 analog sticks with push feature. Wish they were 7-way funkies. It's got the RPM lights here. It's light, it's simple, easy to attach QR. Get the hub, you're done. $279, $50 more, $329, done, out the door. Good quality. I have my Balkan Rev 3 here. I love this wheel rim. Different level of quality, although this has more features, they had to make some cuts somewhere to give you more features. This has a full 5mm carbon front plate, 295 millimeters. Grips are significantly better, and I like the feel of the clutches better. Depends on what you want. This is $300. This is $300. You're not going to go wrong with either one. I love supporting the little guy, so I would lean this way, but that's up to you. Do you need clutches and you want LED buttons and thumb rotaries? There you go. This is just as lovable, but depends on what you have in your stable of wheels. So I'm going to keep this for sure. I also have my GSI X29. Again, Honda Civic, Corvette, perfectly fine. This will get you from A to B. This is the Honda Civic with the lights underneath. Tinted windows. Looks very nice. It's not as fast as this. Not as luxurious as this. But it has a couple extra bells and whistles on here that you wonder why you don't get on the Corvette. Just whatever comes in this standard model doesn't come in this. Costs significantly more. I can get clutches, which I will. The only thing I wish, and I think it lacks, are the thumb encoders. But with that being said, Corvette, Honda Civic will do everything you need it to do. This is just a significantly better wheel. Honda Civic, meet Bentley. Significantly more expensive. This will do what you need it to do. This is amazing. This can be good. And it's okay. I keep getting conversations about, well, why would I spend money on this? Or any of the other wheel rims? I only need one. There you go. If you want one wheel, inexpensive, easy to use, once you get it set up, you download the Moza Pit House software, you run it, you race it, you have fun. This is significantly better. The GSI is significantly better, lacking one key element, and again, that can happen. And then my Balkan Rev 3 wheel, which is absolutely amazing. Both in the same price point. Depends on what you want. $279, $50, go and get one. That's all I'm gonna simply say. It's worth the money. The grips don't feel the greatest. They're tacky, they feel good, but they're thin over hard plastic, so they do feel kind of hard, but you can run it. I wouldn't have a problem running this. And I had the F core, I would get this over the F core every day. Simply because, one, it has everything the F core has, except for the 7-way funky switches. I know that is a huge drawback. Something I wish they would have changed. It does go, it's a full analog with a push button. If it just rotated and it was full 7-way, then it would be icing on the cake. Outside of that, I'd recommend it to anybody. So, again, plethora of wheels to choose from. You're not going to be wrong either way. I think 279 is a great entry point. Vulcan Rev 3 is a great entry point. GSI X29, if you've got the cash and you want to save, it's a good entry point. Varian Semtech, I don't know if that's a good entry point for you. You're just starting, that's a lot of money to spend, but it's a great wheel. So you couldn't go wrong with either one of these. There's a reason why I have all of these in my stable. Some of them I wish I would have kept. But because I really did, to be honest, like the Fanatic McLaren wheel. That was a fun wheel to have. It did do everything I wanted to do. It just didn't have any bells and whistles. Like, this has more bells and whistles when you look at what it has than the Fanatic wheel. But other than that, get one and you'll be fine. Wheel stands, again, by my guy Matt at Simulation RS. Check him out. If you appreciate and like what I'm doing here, go ahead and thumbs up. Turn notifications on so you see when videos like this post, and subscribe to the channel. You're also welcome to become a member here at Gray's Dynamics and become one of Gray's Racers. I'll be honest, like I tell everybody, it's 99 cents a month. That's your money. You don't have to spend it on me. It does not give you anything additional that everybody else doesn't get, but it does go towards paying this stuff off so I can review it for you. So I want to thank the guys who have become members already. Mr. Anderson, as I call him, is M. Anderson. Todd Bosworth. My guy Matt, my sponsor, is actually a member at Smoke and Rubber. And, not to count him out, Norman. My guy in Bermuda. Hope you're enjoying this video and the weather back home. I enjoy you all. Thank you for being sponsors of the channel. And I appreciate it. Members, those who subscribe, thank you from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate you all. I hope to see you back on the next video. Have a great rest of your day. Enjoy wherever you are, and I hope life is a blessing to you. Peace.